It's mailbag time here on the Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. We're going to get to all of your questions, or at least most of them, coming up in just a moment. But if we don't answer your question, or if you want to ask me a question on Twitter, you can do that as well. Follow me at HGrahamNFL, and we will be able to respond to those questions as well if we can't get to them here on this mailbag. Jackson Cline says, #Chiefs, how will the defense do against the Cowboys offense? Look, there's no doubt this will be the toughest test yet. It could have been the Packers if Aaron Rodgers had played, but he obviously did not. We'll see. I've been impressed with what Steve Spagnuolo has been able to do and adjust with the last few weeks. I was just about on the fire Spags train. To his credit, he's got this defense playing better. I thought they did a great job against the Raiders on Sunday Night Football, but the Cowboys are a different animal than the Raiders. They have a top 5 quarterback. They have probably the best trio of wide receivers in the NFL in Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. And they have 2 good running backs and 2 good tight ends. So, listen, this is a challenge. The way you equate good defense in this game might not be necessarily with yards and points. It's probably going to be more of, okay, can you force a field goal here and there? Can you win in the red zone? Can you win the turnover battle? That's going to probably what determines this game. William Oldham, do you think Josh Gordon just isn't what the Chiefs thought he would be, and that's why they aren't playing him? Well, here's the thing. His snap counts continue to go up. He's just not getting targets. So without watching the All-22, the film from the Raiders game, that tells me a couple of things. One, there's no chemistry with him and Mahomes yet. Two, the Chiefs don't really trust him as a receiving weapon at this point. Or three, he's just not getting open. I mean, it's one of those three. Now, he's been utilized as a run blocker, and he's actually done very well in that area. He's had the right attitude. He tweets after every win, after every game, great team win, all that stuff. I think he's just happy to be back in the NFL. Andy Reid did say on Monday that success is coming soon for Gordon. So we'll see. I'd like to see him get more involved in the offense, but I'm not going to complain after a 41-14 win. Rasta Coffman, how do you think Williams did last night? Darrell Williams, as a receiver, he was tremendous on Sunday Night Football. 9 catches, over 100 yards. He freaking embarrassed Jonathan Abram, who should be in witness protection after that play last night. That was just to let a running back moss a physical safety like that. That's impressive for Williams. It's equally, if not more, embarrassing for Abram. But he was tremendous. He ran hard. The yards after the catch and after contact in the running game was impressive. I've always liked Darrell Williams. So, yeah, I mean, how can you not be excited with what he did against the Raiders? Gordon Truther, will Josh Gordon score a touchdown versus the Cowboys? I hope so. No time like the present, right? No touchdowns yet for Gordon. Andy Reid did say in his Monday presser, like I mentioned, that success is coming soon. So, obviously, I'd love for it to happen this week. I mean, let's get it going. I mean, I've told you guys, at this point, Mecole Hardman is a good gadget player, but he's not a number 2 receiver. Byron Pringle continues to make plays, though. I like what I've seen from him. D-Rob's okay, but there's no reason why Josh Gordon shouldn't get at least a few targets a game. Hopefully it happens against Dallas, because that is a massive matchup for this team, and it'd be great for him to get back into the end zone against the Dallas Cowboys. Will Josh Gordon have a touchdown on Sunday? Type Y for yes, type N for no. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, just let us know if Gordon will have a touchdown against Dallas. Deldric Smith, franchise tag Mecole Hardman and Derek Nottie, or let one go. Well, Hardman's got another year on his contract. I need to look up Derek Nottie. I'll see real quick if he is under contract next year. In theory, if you had to ask me who I would rather keep, it's Derek Nottie, but Hardman's under contract, so you're fine there. Derek Nottie is a free agent after this year, so you could tag him, you could sign him. I don't think Nottie's really a tag candidate, because he's not typically that's high-level players. He's more of like a B-level player, but he's had a really good year. He's quietly been one of the most consistent players on this defensive line. I'd like to bring him back on a multi-year deal. I think he's proven that he is worthwhile at that defensive tackle position. Jack Bartho, do we even want CEH to come back at this point? Yes. CEH had 2 of his best games of his career before the injury. Now, Obviously, the fumble against Baltimore wasn't great, but he responded with that with, I believe, 200-yard rushing games. So I want him to come back. And the reason I do want him to come back is you invested a first-round pick in him. Don't you want to see if he can at least reach some of that potential? I think we've seen flashes of it, but injuries have held him back, and obviously he's been a little inconsistent as well. Now, I will say Darrell Williams still should have a role on this team once he returns, but yes, I do want to see him come back. All right, Josh Hunter, do you think we will draft a wide receiver in round 1? I think it's possible. Listen, who's the number 2 receiver on this team? If you had to ask me who do I trust most after Tyreek Hill, I'd probably say Byron Pringle. And I love Pringle, but I think he's like a good number 3. I don't think he's a number 2. So I think it's very possible that you could draft a receiver in the first round. It's another deep receiver class. Obviously, it depends on where the Chiefs are selecting and what their areas of need they want to address. Follow for follow game. If you follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL, the first 20 new followers will get a follow back. So follow me on Twitter at HGramNFL. If you're watching live, I'll give some shout-outs to those of you who have followed me. Also, if you follow me later in the week, I'll give you guys some follow-backs as well. So at HGramNFL, first 20 new followers get a follow-back from me here on Twitter. NFG Cole is next up. Do you think OBJ would have been good for the Chiefs? I was in on it just because for the reasons we were just kind of giving, right? This team doesn't have a high-level number 2 receiver. And is OBJ for sure that? No, at this point he's not, but I think he at least gives you a chance to be that, whereas, we've seen McCole Hardman this entire year have the chance to be that guy, and he hasn't been that. Josh Gordon hasn't done much since hopping on board. So, yeah, I would have been in on it, but it's not the end of the world that they didn't sign him either. Jensen's weather forecast. Can the Chiefs play better against Dallas than the Raiders? Mahomes looked to be in the groove again, and the defense is alive again. Can they play better against Dallas than they did against the Raiders? I'll tell you this. If they play as well as they did against the Raiders, I think they'll beat Dallas. They played really well on both sides of the ball. But it's pretty hard to play, an A-plus game in the NFL. I'd say most teams on average play like their B-level football. It's very, very hard to play your best. Dallas just played their A-level game against Atlanta, 43-3. What would be awesome is if both of these teams played really well at the same time, and to see which rose to the top, whether Kansas City or Dallas is the better team. But yeah, I think they can play well. Keep playing turnover-free, hit some big plays. This team will be just fine. Jacob Kelso, who do you think Snead covers this week, Cooper or Lamb? Well, number one, L'Jarius Snead is a hell of a player, and he continues to improve. He had 3 or 4 tackles last night in space where you're just like, damn, for a corner, this guy can freaking tackle. Like, he is not scared at all to get his nose in there and make some plays. And he's got good coverage skills, obviously. I don't know if Snead will shadow because the Cowboys just have so many weapons that him shadowing Cooper or Lamb doesn't really make sense because then the other guy's just going to have good options all night. So I don't think he'll shadow, but we'll see how it plays out. The good news is Rashad Fenton has been playing pretty well also. Everett Cole next up. Why don't the Chiefs run the ball more with their O-line, especially with Dallas, or against Dallas, I guess you mean? While this O-line is kind of better suited to run block, they actually did much better as a pass blocking unit against the Raiders, weirdly enough. They didn't open up huge holes in the running game. So maybe the Chiefs recognized that and said, hey, we're just going to have to throw a ball against Las Vegas. But I've been saying for a few weeks, you got to run the ball a little bit more. I think you should have chances to do that against Dallas because their front isn't that good. But obviously Micah Parsons can clean up a lot of those plays. Don't be that guy. Subscribe to the channel so the Chiefs can beat the Cowboys. And remember, we've got our subscriber challenge against the Cowboys report and Tom Downey trying to get more subs than he does this week. So subscribe, sub for Chiefs dubs. That's how we do it here. Hit that big red button for daily videos here on the Chiefs report. CheeksFan says, where are you at with extending Tyrann Mathieu at this point? Keep him or let him walk? So Matthew's picked up his level of play the last few weeks. I'm still probably in favor of keeping him as you look at his season stats there. But I think there's a reason he doesn't have an extension at this point. I think this is going to be something the Chiefs very carefully consider. Money will be a factor. Can they come to a compromise? I know Mathieu loves Steve Spagnuolo. He tweeted out again, I ride or die with my guy. So he would like to be here. But are the Chiefs going to pay top dollar? I don't know if they can. So we'll see how that shakes out. I'll ask you guys, would you sign, keep Tyrann Mathieu, type S for sign, type D for don't? I still probably would. Would I make him the highest paid safety in the NFL? I don't think so. That is not something I would do. A couple more on this mailbag. Expensive looking duck. How far did the Chiefs go if they keep playing like this? Look, nothing has really changed from the beginning of the year. Even when they were playing bad, I told you guys, if they can get out of their funk, they're still a contender. The goal should still be to win a Super Bowl. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. And there are certainly a lot of good teams, including Dallas, that could get there and win the Super Bowl. But there's no reason not to have those aspirations. You have an experienced roster. You have a Super Bowl MVP at quarterback. You've got Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce on offense, guys who have been there and done that. You've got a defense that's starting to play a little bit better. If this defense plays well against Dallas and they win this game, why shouldn't the Chiefs be thinking Super Bowl? Because at the end of the day, you just got to make the playoffs. I mean, you don't have to be the number one seed, especially if you're a veteran team like Kansas City, to go on a run. So, yeah, I mean, I think the goal is the Super Bowl until there's major changes. And at this point, that has not been the case. RileyGamer, is this Gamer Dude's cousin? How do you feel about Dirty Dan after his INT? Not much different because Derek Carr got hit as he threw that, and it was just an awful decision. That ball floated in the air. It's good to see Sorensen make a play. That's kind of what he's been known for, though, right? To find the football, which he certainly did there. But once Carr threw that, I was like, oh, my God, that's floating. Like, someone's got to pick that off. It just happened to be Sorensen. I still would not play him a lot in deep coverage situations, just like the Raiders with Jonathan Abram. I don't know why they were doing that. But listen, if he's your number 3 safety, that's fine. I just don't want him out-snapping Juan Thornhill. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, @HGramNFL. Again, if we can't get to your questions here on these mailbags, you can ask me over there. DMs are always open, @HGramNFL on Twitter. Go ahead and give me a follow.